All the items that are in this survival kit will be in the link below, or you can find them on Amazon, Walmart, your local hardware store. This is my everyday carry survival kit. I had a lot of questions on what do I carry, so this is just a video to introduce you to things that would be helpful for you in a survival situation. I chose this bag. It's pretty nondescript, like the fact that it's not terribly flashy. However, it is a pretty well-built bag. It does have a tear up here that I created when I put my entire body weight into it. But since it tore, it has not expanded the rip since I did that. So it's a pretty well-made bag. I like it. It came with some internal divider pouches that I keep my actual survival kit in, which I'll show you in just a minute. Water bottle holder on the side. You are able to cinch it. And then this also is a TSA approved, or fits into a TSA approved luggage compartment. So you can pack this thing to the gills and it will still fit in an overhead bin. This thing's been around the world, so I can vouch for its fitment in airplanes. So let me show you the survival kit in this bag. This kit is designed to help you if you find yourself in need of shelter or water, or just in a situation where you need some extra life-saving support. This particular bag, this particular pouch carries most of the survival equipment. Some of the other items are stored in the front pocket and the main pocket of this bag. It has generous space for storing these items, but most everything, the nuts and bolts of this kit is stored in this divider that came with this bag. So this is a survival kit all laid out. If you look over here on this side, things we have pen, pencil, notepad for taking notes if you need to. We have a sun hat, protect you from the elements. These are obviously used. This is ibuprofen in case you need that. Also, something that's really handy, the wet naps. Those are nice. Also, for protection from the elements, we have neck gaiter, and then you can use a handkerchief to protect yourself from the elements. And I like this one because it also includes survival techniques and tips and tricks. So you get a 2-for-1 in protection from the elements and a little bit of advice if you need it. All right, moving on to this section, some more of the fun gear. I have a bag of plastic baggies. You can never have too many plastic baggies. Also a mesh bag to kind of hold all of this stuff together. Wire ties, these are night eyes, gear eyes. These are helpful. Small shackles can be useful, especially with 550 cord. 550 cord is essential. There's two 50-foot hanks of 550 cord here. They have these tensioners that help you pre-tension your line. So if you have to run a main line to create a shelter or something like that, these are very, very helpful in just quickly pulling the line tight and just keeping it tight, especially for something like a shelter that you're going to be in overnight. A signal mirror can also be helpful, both for signaling and for hygiene, trying to see if you have a cut someplace. Compass. I like Camelback water bottles. You'll notice that this one actually goes with this water filter here. You can take this water filter and cut this hose and put it in here, and you can drink unfiltered water, or you can drink dirty water straight out of this water bottle. The disadvantage is that you cut this hose and this now just becomes a dedicated dirty water bottle. We also have just a plastic bag from the grocery store in case you need to put debris or something like that in there. Comes in handy. Carabiners. Carabiners, always have carabiners. I can't have too many of these. Space blankets. There's just one of these, but I have 2 or 3 different kinds of space blankets in my kit. Survival sleeping bag, which is basically a space blanket turned into a sleeping bag. And we talked about the water filter, but I also have water drops to purify water. The rule of 1 is none and 2 is 1 applies here, so having multiple ways of purifying water is good. Clothespins. So we have 550 cord. If your clothes get wet, you can take these clothespins, you can run a main line, you can clip your clothes to them, let your clothes dry out in the case that you're soaking wet and you just need to dry yourself by the fire or something. This is a P58, I think, P51 can opener, in case you need to open something. Otherwise, it has a sharp edge. You can use it as a knife too in a pinch. Tent stakes. If you're running a main line and you need to stake out your makeshift shelter, say you're using one of these solar blankets for a makeshift shelter, you can use these tent stakes to stake down the ends. And then I travel a lot. Having a good supply of silver coins is a nice thing to have. Sometimes in a survival situation, if there's a power outage, you may not be able to barter with money, but people will maybe think twice for a silver coin rather than a $20 bill. So having some silver is a good thing to have in your survival kit. And over here we have kind of our electronics. This is an electronic fire starter. I like this one because it protects, has good protection. You can start the fire, and then it also has a built-in storage compartment for your fuel. So you could put extra twigs or cotton balls soaked in Vaseline or something in there. To power your electronics, we have a power bank, 20,000 milliamp hour power bank. Don't forget the connector for whatever devices you have. And then also, we have this solar charger to power that bank back up. This is a 10-watt solar charger. I wouldn't recommend anything less than a 10-watt. Headlamp. This is a pretty robust headlamp. It does flood and spot. That's key for moving out in the darkness. And then a spare flashlight just in case. This is a ham radio. Does require that you have a ham radio operator's license, at least a general operator's license, but these things are 20 bucks. And I recommend getting a larger antenna than the one that comes on it, just so that you have the ability to get a little bit of extra range on this radio. So this has been a quick introduction to the everyday carry survival kit that I have. It's pretty small. You can fit a week's worth of clothing in this bag, plus laptop, cell phone, all the chargers you need. I carry this bag particularly because you never know when you'll end up needing, your car gets stranded on the side of the road for an hour or two. Having the ability to create your own sunshade while the tow truck comes, or if you go off the road in the wintertime, this kit will hopefully see you through until help arrives. I've actually used this kit for a impromptu survival class that I was not expecting. I used most of these items in here to survive for the night in a wilderness survival class, so it works. If you want to know more, hopefully we can go a little more in depth next time. Thanks.